Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're out here for an emergency repair on a friend of ours' RV. The other day she had power go out on her RV and she couldn't figure it out. So we went in, we did the normal testing of everything. All her breakers were fine inside. We came outside and the breaker on the pedestal was fine as well. She didn't have a surge protector, but we got her taken care of with that. We got one on here. There is power at the pedestal. So we're following the cord for any abrasions or anything, the shore power cord. We followed up. That looks great too. Then we got to the end of the rig where it goes into the side of the rig and the shore power outlet. That's where we found the problem. We had a loose prong in there and it started to get hot and melty. So it wasn't a good connection. That's why she was losing power, we believe. So it could have, luckily we caught it early because it could be a way worse. These things could catch on fire and burn your rig down or just totally melt the plug. So we caught it. We'll show it to you when we get over there. We picked up a new one, an RV Guard 50 amp shore power plug. We'll leave links to the stuff down below for you guys. You should inspect that outlet every now and then anyway, just in case you start to see some discoloration or something. It might be time to change it. So keep that in mind. If you're RVing and you're not sure about that, check that plug from time to time. But we're going to do that, just get it switched out. We'll show you how the plug looks over there, what to look for, because it's in its infancy of it happening. So luckily we caught it early. But let's get over there. I'll show you what we're up against. All right, one thing I forgot before we go over there and start messing with that plug, we want to make sure the power is off to the pedestal, especially the 50 amp. This is our 50 amp breaker for our 50 amp because this is a 50 amp RV. 30 amp RV, you'll just look for the one for that. But we're going to shut the main one off altogether right there. And even though we shut it off the whole pedestal, we're still going to check back there with our little meter to make sure we don't have any stray power back there, just to make us feel better about it. I've been zapped before. Okay, on this particular RV, this is a destination model RV, so it's not one you're putting on the road all the time, but the shore power cord is here on the back. On most of your towable RVs, you're going to, like your fifth wheel thing like that, they're going to be on the side of the rig most of the time. But this has that locking part. You're just going to unscrew this, and it's like you got a small turn, then you can pull it out of there. I'll show you on this end. You can see a little bit where it's starting to get brown there. This cord should still be good, but the inner plug part is where we have our issue. So we'll set this over here. We're going to use our little voltage tester, make sure we got no residual juice anywhere. All right, we got our little tester here. I couldn't get it to turn on there first, but our tester, we're going to test for any stray voltage here. We have nothing, so I feel good about that being out. Now let me get you guys closer over here. You're going to be able to see in this plug. You can see the brown there in the plug. And then right here, this prong here is loose. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it does shake loose. And that's where the one that's starting to get hot. The rest of these are tight, so they're not any problem. So this is really early infancy, but it did cause our problem for the power to go out. So we're going to change that today with our new plug. To do this, you're just going to take these 4 Phillips screws out, and this will come out, and then you're going to have 4 wires. Because this is a 50 amp, there's 4 wires. You're going to have 2 hot legs, a ground and a neutral. By no means am I an electrician, but I've been doing this for years. So make sure if you're attempting this, you could consult a professional if you feel uncomfortable doing it. But just a disclaimer for you guys. But there'll be 4 wires for this particular one. If it's a 30 amp, there'll be 3 wires, 1 hot leg with a neutral and a ground. So we're just going to take these 4 out, and then we could see what we're up against in the back. All right, this is what it looks like when you pull it out. It's got a back on it of where all the wires sit in there. That's just like the sleeve for it. We're gonna pull that back, get it exposed to the wires, and then we can use our screwdriver to get the wires out. And we're just gonna put the new plug on. I'll make sure the wires on here are cleaned up. Make sure the screws are really tight, because that's what we don't want, is that problem where they get loose and then they start arcing. That's what causes your problem. That's why this one started to melt, because the prong was loose. It started arcing. So let me get this off, and then once we get this off, we'll show you what we're up against. All right, in order to get this part off so you can slide it back, on the inside of your plug, there's screws. We already started backing them out. But you're just going to back those screws out. There's 2 of them. And that's going to release that back cover from the, if I can get on it, that's going to release that black back cover from the plug. So we'll finish screwing these out. And then once we do that, you just pull the cover off. And that allows you to get to, this is like the strain relief for your wire. And these are the screws that tighten the wire in there. And on the back of these plugs, you can see they're kind of color coordinated for you, or oriented. So the white cord, what goes in the white, the bare copper or green wire would go into the green. Then you have red into the red and black into the black. Now, like I mentioned, if you had the 30 amp, you're only going to have 3 wires. But since this is a 50, we have 4. And that's the same thing for the back of this. You can see the new one is color coordinated, and it has all the, so you're going to know where to put those wires, as long as your wires are the color they're supposed to be. And then you have your strain relief here. You just put that together to pinch it, keep it from pulling. So we're just going to pull this one off, put this one on, put it in there, tighten everything down. You want to make sure you tighten these pretty good, because you don't want them wires busting loose.
It could start a fire.
It could start a fire. So let's finish getting these loosened up off of here, and then we can go on and put the new one on. So first we're going to undo that strain relief. You can unscrew it all the way. They roll out of the way, or flop out of the way, I should say, like this. Okay, we got that one open. Now our strain relief is off. Now we're going to use the flat bit side of our driver to just back these screws off. That way we can get our wires out. I'm looking in here. I want to see which wire was what. The black wire is the one to that one that started getting hot. So one of the legs of hot is the one that's had a problem. But like I said, luckily we're catching this now, because it could have been a way worse. I'll pop a picture up in here somewhere of, you know, how bad they could get. In worst case, they burn your RV down. These are the same kind of plugs that are kind of on boats as well. So they call them shore power plugs. So you should check them periodically. Make sure you don't have nothing loose or any hot spots. All right, now that we got these loose, we should be able to just pull the wires right out, like so. I'm just putting this back in here just so it's with it. But our wires overall look fairly good. They're not really dirty. So I didn't, no water intrusion or anything like that. So we're good with those. I mean, I don't have to do much. So I might scrape up a little bit to clean the edges, but other than that, they don't look too bad. Yours could be worse. It could have water intrusion and the wires are just going to look black. You're going to want to clean those up or cut back a little bit. We have enough cord to cut back if we wanted to, but these don't look bad. So we got this one set aside. Now you're going to want to pull that cup off, the old cup. Don't forget to put your new cup on first. Otherwise you get them wires in and be like, dang it. There we go. Now reverse of what we did to get it off. We're just going to line them up in each one of the colored holes, and we're ready and set to go. I mean, they almost line up. I'm just going to loosen all these so I can get the wire in easy. We got our last wire here in. We are tightening down the screws. And we'll give it the old pull test. Everything looks good there. So now we can put the strain relief on. These are retained screws, so they shouldn't fall out on you. Just lining all our screws up. Okay, I mean, you could choose to go all the way with your driver, but I don't like to because I don't want to strip it. It's plastic. So I'm going to finish tightening the strain relief down. Then we're just going to put this back in here with the 4 screws. Test our outlet. Make sure everything's nice and tight, and then we can plug our shore car cord back in. This should be a job done. All right, once you get those wires tightened up, we're just going to put our cap back on the back and put those wires back in the front. Tighten them in. That's going to hold that back on there. And then once we're done with that, like I said, we'll just put it back in, test everything. This job will be done. So let me finish this up, and we'll come back when we flip the power back on. All right, guys, there we go. We have it in. New plug in, set and ready to go. We're going to plug this in. Now that these are in here, all these are tight. They're not moving really. So we're going to put this in here, and hopefully, I mean, we'll monitor it, but hopefully this cord's still good. I don't see no reason why it shouldn't be. We got the little darkness from, I think, from that pin, but I don't think the cord is bad. If it is, we'll just pop another cord on there. But we're going to put that on. Give it our quarter turn. Hold it there. Run the retaining nut on there. There we go. That's done. Now we can go and turn on the power. We'll test everything inside. We'll set the clock on the microwave. That way we can monitor if it goes out. We'll know because the clock will set back to 0. And that'll give us an idea what happened there. So we're going to do that. Run it for a few hours. As long as that microwave doesn't go out, because the ACs are going to cycle on. Plus, having that clock, it'll let us know if, okay, it's still tripping off. We'll know to look elsewhere. But either way, this plug needed to be changed because you've seen the melty spot in there and the dark spot. It needed to be changed. It is changed. So let me get over here and click this breaker on. All right, guys, we're going to be kicking on the power. We're going to be looking at our surge protector here. Right now it says no power. You guys can see that on there. No power.
Yeah.
So we're going to turn on main power, which I still shut off the 50 amps. So it's going to show no power until I flip this. Always listen for stuff, you know, just in case. Always want to listen. I just heard the microwave come on. The surge protector now says correct wiring. It checked it, and it has the surge protection. So that's all good. So let's run inside. We'll set the clock on that microwave. That way we know if it goes out, it'll set back to 0. Okay, we're inside. Going to set the clock on here. We are in the PM, and it is, what time is it?
Good question. 1:56.
1:56 clock. The clock is now set, so we can watch this. If the power does blip off, this is going to go back to all zeros like it did. The AC's on right now, and the one in the back will probably cycle on because here in Florida, these RVs get pretty hot. So we'll come back in a few hours. Well, you won't need to see that, but we'll come back in a few hours. We'll check and make sure all is good. So, all right, there it is, guys. Something really to check for us. It was like an emergency fix because her power was blipping out. It could have, you know, kept barking and caused more of a problem. But this is something you should do as your regular routine maintenance if you're doing RV and full-time RV and whatever you're doing. Always check that outlet. Make sure everything's tight. Water's not getting in there and everything's good so you don't have a burn down or your whole rig catch on fire. So it's pretty easy to do if you have just a little bit of knowledge and skills. You don't need no special tools, screwdriver, a little volt tester for straight current, voltage, and then you'd be able to do that yourself. But if you're not comfortable with it, make sure you hire somebody who is, that can get that changed out for you pretty quick. The plugs aren't that expensive, 25, 35 bucks for the plug. So it's good to have that done. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down below. We'll get back to them as soon as we can. If you found this video helpful or informative, don't forget to hit the follow button and also subscribe to the channel. It helps us out. And we will leave links to the stuff we use, like the outlet and stuff. If you guys are deciding to do this job or you need to do it, it probably is an affiliate link. It helps support the channel indirectly through like Amazon and stuff like that. We appreciate that support. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Try something new.